Indoor garden update, 11th of December. As you can see, we've expanded. And I'm actually going to be sorting these things out today, so I'm filming it before the sort out and after. So we now have beetroot in this one, broccoli in here, we have radish in here. There's no need to seal these containers where you cut round them, no need at all. You've got an air gap in the top, so there's no fear of an air gap through the middle, and it's a great waste of tape when you don't need to do that. This is Sherry's tomatoes, which are the pineapple tomatoes, coming on nicely. As I say, I'm going to transplant some things today into bigger containers. These ones are doing very well as well. These are the red cherry tomatoes on a small vine. More tomatoes. Tomatoes were slower than a lot of the things, as you can see in previous videos, to come up. They're doing fine. These are the Pomero tomatoes. More tomatoes. These are the Ace tomatoes vine. Still no sign of my garlic chives. As I said in my last video, I'm having trouble growing chives. I've grown them one time. They were fantastic. I've even tried taking seeds from them, as someone said that would help. Growing from seeds that you've grown well, the chives, but no such luck so far. These are Demetra melons, is because that's my neighbour who gave me her melon seeds. There's a couple there. The green lettuce. These are coming up, as I say, much slower than the rosa lettuce. And then here we have okra. I've transplanted a lot of these already, but there's more coming up again. And I keep them in line so I know what's transplant of what. So this is all okra now. These are the first ones I transplanted. And some more behind. They're doing rather well. I used to grow okra just for the pretty flowers, but obviously eat it as well. But if you want easy to grow flowers, grow okra and then collect the seeds if you don't like eating okra and give them to somebody else. Yellow melon, I've transplanted some behind. There's more coming up. These are the transplanted ones. These are squash. Probably one of the best things that have grown early for me. As you can see, these need transplanting now. They're a bit big for the bottom of the milk bottles and cups. But they've done very well, grown very quickly. There's two in that one. And there's some more growing in the box behind. And then we've got cantaloupe, Hale's Best melon. And they're all over here. Transplanted a few of those. Keep them cosy with little dessert dishes that you get from supermarkets. The radish is behind. Transplanted some of that into here. It's a squash trying to have its moment again. There's quite a few there, as you can see. Then we have here the Timmy beans. I call them Timmy beans because we got some actual beans from the market in Timmy, because I'm so short of beans. I really need beans, green beans, runner beans, are the sort of beans I like. There's more coming up in the box behind. And then these last two are mini munch. And again, some more coming up behind in the box. Update on my Malabar spinach. I was told if you put it in water it will root. Can't see any roots at the moment, but it is continuing to grow in there. There's little buds on the top of the one downwards of this picture. Some little buds. This is, oh, this is unknown. I say unknown, I think I know what it might be, but because I wasn't 100% sure out of two things, I've just put unknown on it. So you'll see a few of the unknowns. They're all the same thing, but I didn't want to label them and forget that I wasn't 100% sure. More broccoli, onions, some other things come in there as well, as always. People call them volunteer plants, but I call them progressors because no matter what they're given to start in life, they keep growing. Then these are the long chilies. There's a couple coming up in there. Peppers. Quite a few happening there. They were a little bit slower as well than normal. Along with the tomatoes. Here is kohlrabi. I'm growing the red kohlrabi, which some of you call purple kohlrabi. I'm growing that, and also white. These are the red. Let's turn that round, but as I say, I'm going to transplant some things today anyway. Pawpaw, just starting to come up. Which I'm pleased about. I only have one pawpaw plant growing and one papaya. They are different things. Somebody asked me what's the difference. They are different. Cauliflower, doing very well. I could do with cauliflower this year. I've got a nice hugel bed full. I want some new ones. Let's move that along. Grapes. These are from my grapes. They're starting. These are watermelons. Jackby little pumpkin. I think they're just starting. So that's great. I have trouble with pumpkins. They grow to very small. I know Jackby littles are small, but that's it then. I think we're far too hot here for pumpkins. White kohlrabi. Not growing as fast as the red. Long purple aubergines coming up. I've had such success with aubergines, or eggplants some of you call them. Major success this year. Year 2 of growing those. Fantastic. They are still producing. So they've produced all year and from last year continued. Rosella. One coming up still. Here, little one, which is good. And then we have Rosella lettuce. Can you see the difference I was saying about Rosella grows really crazy compared to other lettuce types? So if you like your lettuce and you want lots, give Rosella lettuce a go. It goes red. This is a red lettuce for anyone who doesn't know. Could have micro lettuce there. And then the top shelf is quite hard for me to film. So this is Sherry's carrots, which are the Uzbek golden. These are a yellow carrot, which you've seen a video of recently. They're full growing and picking them. So this is my second lot of these. Carrots, and just your normal carrots. Mixed zucchini. There's a little one growing there, but not so much. These are taking much longer than squash, so I would say squash is better than zucchini. Another one of them. They're coming up, but very slowly. Chard. Always easy to grow chard, so try chard. If you don't grow chard, you don't have to do very much with it at all. More broccoli. Nanos. More unknowns, they're actually coming up there at the front. More squash. So these are transplanted squash in the front because the back's hard to reach. So I always leave the soil if some come up for a while because more may come up. More squash. More squash. Oops, some's there. More squash. More squash. More squash. More squash. More squash. And behind are mostly different types of zucchini. Oh, there's a cucumber there. And that's coming up yet. One. And again, cucumber I just couldn't grow. And then suddenly, last year, it grew like absolute craziness. So don't give up on trying to grow anything. Keep trying. Same with my sweet corn. Very hard for me to grow the first year, but then great success. So that's my little update for now. I'm now going to transplant things, and I'll show you a brief overview when I've done that today. So I've transplanted lots of stuff, just rearranged everything. So smaller things have just protected milk bottles on top. Smaller things are left where they were. Second shelf with the lettuce, I actually divided it into quarters. I put a quarter in each different pot and I left a quarter behind, which is always a good idea when you're transplanting things, to leave some as it is, and then you've always got an emergency backup if transplants don't work for some reason. And just really rearranged the shelves. A few bigger stuff is still in pots, just to let them grow a bit more. Being in the bigger size pots, they don't need transplanting. As I say, move things around. The radish are now forward so I can get to them. Everything's labelled. Got a nice space here. I might start some more off. Left the okra for now because they were doing well where they were. Few tomatoes I've transplanted, but most of them are still in the pots. So where's all that stuff gone? Well, look how many water bottles there are now. Now if you're afraid of transplanting things once they're in a big water bottle, you can do as I've done in these two, actually plant in a pot and then just put them in like an incubator. This little kit. So you can do that if you're afraid of things, or like these are beans, if they grow too tall in there, you're going to have trouble getting them out. And then I've put some of the rosa lettuce in there, radish in there, cherries, carrots, broccoli, beetroot, and some more rosa lettuce in there. are out here. Somebody said to me, oh, you're lucky to have so much space, which yes I am. It's the only area I can grow indoors. There's no windowsills in heat to grow. But look, these are all outside. So you don't need indoor space to grow in the winter. These are all my transplants. And they're just out here, so they're easy to water. Hence why, another reason you don't want to take them, the bottles, because you can just open them up, check on what's growing, and pop them down. And if you do need to add any water, that's so easy to do. And tape is not good for the environment. Once you've used it, you're going to throw it in the bin and not help the environment with that sticky tape. And a few of the tomatoes, just for now, I've just laid this bit of perspex on top. I will rehome it around here somewhere, but I've done enough for today bending over. So there's tomatoes in here that I've transplanted in, I guess, polystyrene that came with some item at some point. And then just laid the perspex over the top with a couple of painted stones. And they will germinate better in there. And I will sort out the rest of this growing area next time. Just an update, this is my transplant of one of the plants I bought in Timmy. I broke several small bits off and that's doing really well. Mint obviously has come back into season, so it does die right off and you think it's dead, but it grows back year after year after year. So a little bit of water now for it. The rosemary's doing well, and lost my basil. And this is the plant I transplanted those little ones from Timmy Market. It is called a snake plant, but not what you look up on YouTube as being a snake plant. The trend of snake plant on YouTube is actually called mother-in-law's tongue, but everyone calls it snake plant. But this is a snake plant, hence the tendrils come out from all directions, and then you can just break some of those off, strip some leaves back a bit and put them in a pot. So that's my latest update on my indoor growing.